Pentacles. Just dropping some celestial white noise for the babytron because he just went back to sleep. Thank you, Papa.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Did you just start your live?
Yeah.
Oh.
Powering on.
Welcome to All Tech Lansing. Shout out to technology that helps our babies stay asleep longer. Shout out to all the privileges. Shout out
Connected to this?
to the eyeliner.
You are. It's okay.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out. Don't worry about
It's okay. We'll just let him. Maybe he just needs to hear this too, Papa.
Sure.
Shout out to the cards. Shout out to all of our comforts right now. They're necessary. Oh, Mateo, Great Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this life. Great Spirit, I ask for tenderness. I ask for tranquility. I ask for love. I ask for love. I ask for love. I ask for gentleness with ourselves. I ask for joy. I ask for grace and honoring of our grieving selves. Great Spirit, please help us move through this time with love, with intention, with care. Great Spirit, I ask for compassion for the ugly parts of the world showing themselves right now. Great Spirit, I ask for safety. I ask for protection. I ask that all of us are able to find our comfort place at this time. I ask that all of us are able to share our beauty at this time. I ask that all of us are able to share our joy, and all of us are able to express our distress, our grief, our sadness, our anger in a way that is not harmful to ourselves and others. Great Spirit, I ask for the end of suffering for all beings now. Thank you for this. Thank you for the water. Thank you for the food. Thank you for the water. Thank you for the water. Thank you for the water. I ask for deep nourishment for our souls and our bodies here now. I ask for compassion and forgiveness for ourselves and others here now. Thank you, Great Spirit, for this time. Thank you for this place. Thank you for our homes. I ask that those without homes at this time find ease in their situations. I ask for justice, Great Spirit, universal alignment and justice. May we all seek our highest truths in the face of adversity, and may we come to comfort those in need in the face of adversity. I ask that we all protect our highest virtues in the face of adversity. Thank you, Great Spirit, for these times that we may heal, that we may heal, that we may heal. Oh, Mateo. Okay. What the? I don't know. Hola, compadre Mikla. Nice to see you here. Okay. Whew, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, this is an intense card that just fell out. This is the 9 of Cups. Cups are about emotional space. Cups are about the emotional filling of the emotional cup. They're about what emotions we're feeling and what we are filling the cups with. The 9 has a lot to do with almost completion, like we're at that end, but it hasn't become yet. It hasn't ended yet. It has not yet come to completion. There's 9 people watching right now. 9s are wish cards. 9s are like, how do we want this to come to completion? What do we want to, I don't want to use the word accomplish because I think productivity is overrated, but what are we seeking to understand now? What are we seeking to share now? What are we seeking to honor in ourselves right now? What are we seeking to honor in others, seeking to honor in the world? What kinds of shifts feel appropriate for where we're at in our lives right now? So this is a really important time for us to hold space for all of the emotions coming up. As you see, this is kind of a somber card. It's like a ship all by itself in the sea, and it's a far sea, it's a long sea. This card feels really sad to me. And yesterday, I'm reading for everyone. I'm reading for us, the collective. Yesterday, there was some really intense energy that came through the portal of my existence. And when I let my seeing self, my channel self, tune into it, it felt and looked like a mass exodus of death, a very painful, sad exodus. And it was the collective. It looks like actual death, like dead people, but also death like what in us cannot survive through this, what belief systems, what painful memories, what abusive relationships to people, places, things, substances do we need to say goodbye to, what old stories do we need to say goodbye to. That's what I saw in the cosmic, that's what I saw in the unseen realm yesterday. And it was leaving, and we're all feeling it right now. It's heavy out there, guys, and you all know we're experiencing a lot of heaviness. And it's necessary to understand that this is just going to be part of our experience right now, okay? This heaviness. And it is ours and it isn't ours, okay? It's ours because we're all part of the collective, but it isn't ours that we have to identify so strongly with it or hold on so tight to it, if that makes sense. Can we just allow ourselves to exist and this heavy, sad, grieving feeling to exist? I've mentioned before that in Chinese medicine, the emotion of grief belongs to the metal element, and the organs are the lung and large intestine. So if we're constipated, we're holding on to stuff. If we're having excessive diarrhea, maybe like it's just too easily moving through. There are other things in there physiologically, but something to think about. But the COVID is a disease of the lungs primarily, right? And this mass grief of losing our rainforests, of being disconnected from our families and our purposes because we work 9-to-5 jobs for the 1%. All of this deep grief that is happening in our world right now is showing up in this disease, this dis-ease, this illness, this pain place that is in the collective, and it is moving through. So I invite you all to be really compassionate with yourselves. The 9 of Cups is also a very compassionate card, but it's like the full ability to hold something. The 10 of Cups is like the rainbow card where you're just like all your cups are filled and you're happy and there's kids playing and it's really beautiful. It's going to be like that again, and it's okay for us to hold space for the pain right now. All right? Okay. Further, more specific on that deck, not right now. So I was having all kinds of weird feelings yesterday, and I went on Hi Sulesia. I went on live, and it just wasn't like super feeling right. So, and I don't usually feel that way. Usually I'm like, no, creator, creation, like we're all in this together kind of thing. But yesterday it was like just a really weird energy. So I've been really having to up my spiritual game, up my spiritual protection, and also like hold space for like not being present, not being out there, not being able to offer every day, giving myself and my family space to feel safe, to feel purposeful, and I don't mean like productivity purposeful, you know. So I just want to like remind you all that this is a time for grieving, rightly so, okay? It is also a time for tuning in to what gives you the highest sense of self, of purpose, of virtue, of alignment with your highest truth. Ninoshka, hola querida. Boom, 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 boom. All right, this is the Modern Witch Tarot. 6 of Cups came out. I love this card. 6s are like a playful movement, okay? But they're also very stable and very sturdy. And this is a caretaker giving a cup to a young person. And there's a nice yellow home. Yellow is the color of earth, the color of nourishment. This card is really about how we're taking care of each other and ourselves. And what's coming through right now is this card is also about how we're taking care of our inner child. I've mentioned in a couple of my lives recently that when we have time, when we have space, when all the stuff is hitting the fan, when we're like faced with our imminent God knows what, right? All of this uncertainty, our core wounds are going to be coming out, okay? In the matter of life and death, I like to watch Westworld. It's been great, by the way. Well, we could talk about that at a different time. But they have this idea of the hosts and the characters as having a cornerstone story, right? So like, what in your life has been a cornerstone story that shows up in your wounded place? For instance, I can't trust anybody. Everyone always leaves. I'm never included. I'm always left out. I'm ugly. I'm not taken care of. My mother doesn't love me. My father doesn't love me. These primordial deep wounds that usually show up around the age 4, 5, 6, 7 in our lives, that the rest of our lives are us gathering proof that these things exist. So right now, in this time of the pandemic, everything's uncertain AF. These core wounds are going to be showing themselves, and they're probably not very helpful. Okay, so one of my core wounds is that men always leave because my father left, and that there's a bunch of other examples. And my partner, when I get triggered, I'll be like, well, you could just go, like real. And he'll be like, I'm not your enemy. I'm not going anywhere. And I'm like, and then I have to sit in my own shit, right? Like, oh, that's my story, and this does not prove my story. This is actually the antithesis to my story, so I can heal. Okay, so this is giving your inner child what your inner child needs to heal. If you weren't fed well as a child because your parents were working too hard and you were hungry often, do you let yourself go hungry now, even though you have the resources to feed yourself? My scarcity wound is activated AF right now. So then this was for you. That's why it was coming through. Like, feed that baby that was hungry. Like, whatever you have, be like, Hita, my love, I'm so sorry, pero here, I got you. Let me make you some comida, okay? Like, love on your little inner child. Give that little inner child what the fuck that kid needs, because you are that kid, and that kid is you, and you have the opportunity to heal now, okay? And then next is, this is the 9 of Pentacles. Once again, I love that we got both of these. 9s are wish cards. This one showed up upside down. So she's also kind of witchy, and she has a bird and she has some carrots. This is great. Pentacles are all about our material wealth, our material well-being. In this time, in this place. So this has also to do with what food you have, right? This has to do with the people you're surrounded with. This has to do with the animal friends, the little birdie. I saw a bird yesterday when I was having a really intense moment. It was a robin, and he looked right at me like, what's up, girl? And I was like, and then I looked up his totem meaning on the internet. It was really cool, connected with the robin, the red-breasted robin. It was super powerful for me. This is about really give yourself the opportunity to take in everything you have working for you right now, right? It's really easy to be like, dang, I didn't stock up on that extra thing of toilet paper, but do you still have some toilet paper? It's really easy to be like, oh my gosh, there's no food in the markets, but there's green stuff popping around everywhere. Okay, this is also a wish card. How do you want to create what structures you have in place to nourish you materially in the future? I feel super grateful because I'm generally a super like messy person. I have like trauma in my past that like disallows me from being super organized in my belief system, and maybe it's just bullshit, but either way, I feel so grateful that for whatever the cosmos offered, one of my good friends ended up staying here during the quarantine, and she's like a super magic, let's clean this up today human. So I'm so fucking grateful for that, right? Because I have a baby and me and my partner are both entrepreneurs and we try to work and everybody's struggling with money right now. Everybody's broke right now, right? But I feel so grateful that I can have some space if she takes the baby or she's like, hey, what if we put this here? I'm like, oh, thank you for fucking asking or even pointing that out, because I wouldn't have seen it because I'm too busy like following a 1-year-old all day long, right? He's asleep right now. So anyways, this is really about noting, taking note, taking into account everything you got working for you, and also placing your intention into the space that you want to have working for you, okay? So what's also coming up here is your side hustle. Clearly, capitalism's fucking failing right now. Good, okay? It is time for us to get our jale on, to get our hustle on, to invest your time, your money, your energy, your presence, your food, your everything into that like thing that makes you go, oh yeah, I want to do that. Because that's where we're headed now. We need artists. We need writers. We need people who will support each other. We need people who will follow their passions so that we can start creating a system or systems outside of the other system that hasn't been working for us, that's taken away our passions in lieu of capital for the 1%. Okay, we really need to be present in our power places. What does that look like for you? This is an ask for you to invest your material resources in your material wishes. And that means what you want to create in your life outside of this system that isn't made to serve us. Okay? Okay. The Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is an intense card. 12 is really about trying to like understand life, understand things, and see how his head is separated from his body and he's holding his head separated from his body. This is really like, are you thinking too much about all this shit? Things are hard, things are rough, things are painful, things are intense. Like death is everywhere. Not just the death of people, but the death of capitalism, the death of your job, the death of God knows what, okay? It's intense AF. And you still have a body connected to your head. What are you doing with your body to shift your energy, to leverage your privilege, to make yourself feel good? Are you stuck in a story? Are you stagnant in your head that is disallowing you from using your body toward your wish? Okay, does anybody have any questions? Okay, Andrea Maria says, I was just using my Santa Muerte deck right before you came on live. I got the 9 of Wands. Thank you for saying that, because I was like, it would be cool if we got the 9 of Wands. The Wands are all about your creative pursuits. Wands are like, forth I go. They're like torches, right? They're your ideas. So again, like wishing, what are you wishing for and how are you moving toward it, okay? With your creative self. Anybody else? Who are you reading for? This collective reading. Somebody says, what the fuck? And I don't know who that guy is, but you know, you can't be everybody's cup of tea. You can't be everybody's cup of tea. Don't try. Don't try. All right. Thank you all for watching. That's it. Thank you for being here. And since I talk so much shit about sharing your gifts, I'm gonna sing for y'all. I don't know what I'm gonna sing for y'all. My favorite song. Abuelito, abuelita, yo te quiero tanto, tanto, yo te canto, 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 en el teyot mitot lisli, en el teyot mitot lisli, hey ya, hey yo. Este sol ya se acabó, again. El teot mi totili slien. El teot mi totili sli. Hey ya, hey ya, hey oh. Abuelito, abuelita, yo te quiero tanto, tanto, yo te canto, canto, canto en el teyot mi totilisli, en el teyot mi totilisli, hey ya, hey yo. Oh, Meteo. Órale pues. Okay. Yeah, thanks for being here. Thanks for being here. Thank you for being here. Many blessings to all of you. Feel free to hit me up if you have any questions. I do still have consultations up on my website. I'm going to be opening up my Food Foundations class again at discounted rates and or free depending on what you need. So hit a sister up. We're all in this together. Let yourselves grieve and let yourselves fucking experience beautiful, elated joy because that's part of life too, okay? Okay. Okay, bye now.